What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we are going to talk about Valkyrie. And I have to tell you all, man, aesthetically, wow. Look at her. This is one fine-looking character model. Holy crap. Is she beautiful? Wow. But she's a lot more than just beauty. She is a ridiculously powerful character. I got to tell you all that I am super impressed with what I've seen from Valkyrie so far. I don't think I need to tell anybody that this uniform is actually more than likely probably worth buying for any of you. If you do buy it, you're going to have just a great standalone character, even without the awakened skill. She can do like stage 770 against Proxima without an awakened skill, but when you do awaken her, not even transcended, she's just ridiculous. Over the freaking top. So let's talk about her a little bit. So my Valkyrie has almost 19,000 physical attack. She has 120 attack speed, which isn't the best. She has 42 crit rate, 197 critical damage, 43% ignore defense. So when you're watching this run, just know that her ignore defense isn't even maxed out. That is actually hurting her damage quite a bit. Then she has max skill cooldown. And she has no Urus, guys. She is a level 25. I do have her ready to transcend because I am definitely going to transcend this character because I want to test her null. But I thought for the first video, I would just show you all what she can do in some world boss. And she really is crazy. As far as her skills, her awakened skills, pretty much copy and paste of what we've always seen. I mean, we do have the all defense down. That stacks up to 70%. We got the crit rate, crit damage. You got the ignore target dodge rate, the invincibility, remove all debuff. Increase damage for 60% for one attack. Increase all attack by 25%. Lots of good stuff. But when she's transcended, this is going to be a lot better because when you're increasing your all attack by 25%, when you have more attack, it's just more of a buff. Then her passive, they change this to ignore target dodge rate by 30% and ignore damage dealt to supervillain faction by 50%. So they actually increase the damage dealt to supervillains to all of her allies. She's a better support, because she also offers dodge rate as well. And then she also decreases damage received from supervillain faction by 25%. So this is really great for herself to help her survivability and to help the damage for her and the characters that she's on the team with, which I think is freaking amazing. And against Null, it seems like as you fight Null over time, it seems like he starts increasing dodge. It seems like he starts having more dodge, and you start doing less damage later in the fight. And from all the feedback that I've gotten from other players and from the testing I've done myself, that seems to be true. So having this ignore target dodge rate is actually really great, especially since you can transcend this character and play her against Null. Her one skill is nada, doesn't matter. 2 skill, nada, doesn't matter. 3rd skill is insane. Moneymaker has ignore targeting effect, so she might be very useful in PvP. We'll have to wait and see. But she does have paralysis that works in World Boss. However, in the rotation, you'll see I'm not really going to be taking advantage of this at all because I don't really think you need to. Then she has all defense down, stacks up to 50%. This is really good. It's nice she has the all defense down. But it is a counter skill, so she's going to be standing there posing, waiting to get countered. I don't really try to do this at all because I find these kinds of skills a bit annoying to try to time at times. And it's just better just to run through the rotation because you get the accumulation as soon as you hit the skill. You can cancel the skill, get your accumulation, and that's really all you need for World Boss, as you all will see. And it's got the sweet damage accumulation based on how much damage you deal. And guess what? It starts off at plus 1%, which I think still Thor should have, although from further testing from Thor and from tips that I've gotten from other players, Blaze in my Discord, shout out to you, buddy, I haven't been able to do more damage, but I still don't think he's enough, but that's a whole nother topic. I'll talk about him more in another video. The 4th skill has the all defense down, stacks up to 60%, and you really want to do this skill before you try to do this counter. But again, I wouldn't even try the counter. I would just hit the 3rd skill to get the damage accumulation. And you want to do the 4th skill first because you want the 60% all defense down to apply first. Then you can use this all defense down to fill up that 60% all defense down. If you do the 3rd skill first and get the counter, you're only going to get the 50% all defense down. You won't get the 60%. So make sure you do this one first. Plus she has immunity to all damage, which is really nice. And then her 5th skill gives her an increased all attack by 40% and all defense by 40%. This is really great. However, the thing about this skill is it's a real funky skill. Like, you can't just cancel the fifth skill. It's like she has to be close to the enemy, and she has to go up in the air to really for it to take effect. It's a very difficult skill to try to cancel. So you'll see in the rotation that I'm going to do, I'm going to be doing things a little bit different maybe than other players, but we will be using the fifth skill. Then her passive is really nice. Activation rate when bleed skill is used. So when you're using your main damaging skill, which is going to be your 4, more than likely the 5 and 3, also do a lot of damage. But the 4 is really where it's at as far as I'm concerned. And this thing does deal bleed. So when you use a bleed skill, you're still going to get a heal, which is awesome. And you're going to get the increased chain hit damage by 15% when attacking. And then her leadership is trash, dodge rate, whatever. We don't care. Now, as far as her rotation, it's pretty simple. I mean, if you're going to play with her without an awakened skill, really what you want to do is you want to start with the 4. You'll have your immunity, let it play out, let her apply the all defense down, then hit the 5, and then hit the 3, and then go back into the 4, put the damage proc back on the 4. And she will do insane damage. I mean, there's players that could already do stage 70 with her without an awakening skill, which is crazy. But with an awakening skill, what you can do a couple different things. You can either hit the 3, go into the 5, and then do the awakened skill. Let the awakened skill play out. This is if you're playing with a proc. And once the awakened skill plays out, then you can hit the 5 again, then the 3, and then the 4, put the damage proc back on the 4. However, what I'm going to be doing to avoid being annoyed with her 5th skill is I'm going to hit the 3, then the awakened skill. I'm going to let the awakened skill play out. Once it completely finishes, then I'm going to hit the 5th skill, and then the 3rd and the 4th. You'll still have that invincibility left over from the awakened skill when you hit the 5th skill, so you won't get guard broken because you'll have that super armor from the invincibility. And it just seems to work out really, really well, and it actually is pretty safe to play her for the most part. Valkyrie is a very fragile character, so she can die super easy, unfortunately. But she is a great support character. But honestly, she's way more than a support character, especially for what you all are going to see in a little bit. She has a stage 6 overdrive set. This would be a lot better if it was Power of Angry Hulk. And if it was fully awakened, we'd get a lot more extra stats. And we'd be getting an extra bonus. We'd be doing more damage. It would just be way better. Which really, I mean, honestly, guys, this is just nuts. And then her obelisk, I opted to go with a CTP of Destruction. And because it gives you critical damage by 42%, it gives you the guard break immunity. The reason the guard break immunity is very important for her is because she doesn't really need it. Honestly, you can play her without it, but you'll find that she can be quite annoying without it because she just has immunity. She has no super armor in her kit. She does have invincibility in her awakened skill. So you can get away with not using this and just put a rage on her and go with a rage like a lot of people are going to go with. But you don't need a rage. Honestly, she plays very well with a proc and honestly pretty easy with a proc. So I would go with a damage proc. And this has 180% damage proc on it. We do have penetration. This might come in handy when you're using her 3rd skill, which ignores iframe. In PvP, I'll have to test it. And by the way, you know, with this kind of obelisk, this kind of damage proc is the same as the damage procs that you would get on here. There's no extra benefit. It's the same as this. It's the same thing. You're just getting extra penetration. So if you have a guard break immunity obelisk with damage proc, that's what I would put on her. I don't think she's going to be really great in PvP. I think she's going to be more of a PvE character, although in PvP she would offer the damage dealt to super villains and maybe could be useful with that 3rd skill, but we'll have to wait and see. And then she has a normal ranked uniform. So she has no roots. She's got just a regular 180% damage proc. And she has a normal ranked uniform, which is an awakening, not transcended. So she isn't getting the extra stats. And, you know, her uniform effect, change effective skill, leader of Valkyrie, and then enhanced effective skill, shield, maiden of Asgard. And then you get the increased damage by 25%, increased bonus damage by 25%. I've got to tell you all that I am loving Valkyrie. I think she is absolute waifu material. Lord have mercy, she's beautiful. But she is insane. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So the first run we're going to do with her is going to be against Proxima. It's going to be stage 70 with no strikers. We're going to use Dr. Voodoo's leadership to increase the all defense down that Valkyrie has. And 3, awaken skill. We'll let this play completely out. And look at the damage, guys. With this build that I have, look at this. Look at that. And then 3, 5, and then, or 5, 3, and then the 4. Look at this. And booyah. Almost took him down to, we took him under 12 bars in the first rotation. Now I'm going to use the force skill from Dr. Voodoo to apply mind control to try to lock down Proxima. However, with Voodoo, this method doesn't work the greatest because his mind control comes at the end of the skill, but it's something I'm throwing out there just to maybe try to help some of you out there if you're having trouble keeping her alive. Because Valkyrie can die very easily. So mind control is very important for her. Okay, so Proxima brought down purple. I had to switch my character. Watch out, watch out. Run over here, run over here. Ooh. And we'll do the 3 and then the Awaken skill. And you always want to do 2 rotations with Dr. Voodoo before you switch back to Valkyrie. And boom, now we're in the next phase already. I mean, I find like her 5th skill really is kind of annoying because it's like you got to be right next to the character for it to really take effect, for you to go up in the air, and it's just, you can't just cancel the skill immediately. I wish you could, but you can't. But it's still really not a big deal because she's just insane. So we're going to mind control old Pecker again here, or Peckerette, I guess I should say. And booyah. And one thing that's nice about mind control or charm or any kind of crowd control, CC, is that Proxima won't be doing her frenzy buff. So you can just keep applying tons and tons of damage to old Proxy. Oh, we got to switch. Run around, run around, run around. Ooh. Okay, let's get her. We're going to do the 3 and then the Awaken skill. You always want to make sure you get your damage accumulation from the 3rd skill. And then you're going to see me hit the 5 and the 3 and the 4. You cancel that 3 immediately, guys. And the frenzy buff was up, so unfortunately we didn't do any damage at all, which sucks. This is kind of the thing about Proxima that really sucks, is that stupid frenzy buff. Very, very freaking annoying. We would have done this way faster if it wouldn't have been for that crap. But in the next run, I'll show you a better team that you can set up to really increase Valkyrie's survivability and honestly increase her damage. Okay, here we go again. Frenzy buff is still up from Proxima. I probably should have waited, but that's alright. Now, yeah, the frenzy buff's still up, so we're not going to do any damage. So right now we're just kind of toying around, running around, trying to keep alive so we can do the final blow to old Peckerette here. Run, 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 run. Now we're going to get her. Oh. Okay, let's do it. And one thing about Valkyrie that really is nice, well, actually a lot of things, is her movement speed is very good. She's very fast, and boom. So a little over 3 minutes to do this run. Really not the fastest time. I've done it much faster. I did this in like 2 minutes and 45 seconds when I was practicing earlier. So she's bonkers. Now let's go into the next run. So now we're on to stage 80. That's right, guys. No Urus, normal ranked uniform, and just an awakening skill. Stage 80. And no strikers. No strikers, guys. So we're going to do the same exact thing, but now we switch to White Fox. Now, my White Fox does have a CTP of Insight, which does offer an extra 20% damage to Proxima whenever it procs. So that does help. But White Fox is just insane because she has that Paralyze and that wand and the Charm on the 5. You guys have probably seen me do this before. It's been a while, but this is a great tactic to use to keep your characters alive. With the Charm and the Paralysis from White Fox, you can do a couple rotations, then switch back to Valkyrie, and then do all your damage again. And boom. I mean, look at this damage. Less than 45 seconds, we got through the first phase. Wow. That is crazy. And this honestly is pretty easy. I mean, it might not look easy, but I've done this kind of thing a bunch of times, so I'm pretty used to it. But if you have White Fox, and this is a completely free-to-play team. You got White Fox, you know, she doesn't have her uniform or anything, her newest uniform. You got Shuri, and then you got Valkyrie. Now, except for Valkyrie, she is a paywall. That's kind of the bad thing. But you can get the character from the Legendary Battle if you're going to pay 2,500 crystals. So at least that's something good. Ooh, watch out, watch out. And one thing that does suck is whenever there's tornadoes out, because we don't have super armor, we can get kind of caught in a tornado, and that does screw up our rotation. So that is something you have to be careful of and be aware of. Let's go, let's go. Yeah. And with White Fox, it's a lot easier to keep Proxima from doing her frenzy buff, because you really just keep Proxima locked down pretty much the whole time. You hit the 4 for our immunity, then the 1 for the paralysis, and then the 5. We'll do that twice. So I'm going to wait. And another thing about White Fox is nice. If you do take damage, she has a nice long heal on that 4. Really, it's a great team. And now we're going to get her. We kind of waited. We did that a little too early. Probably should have done one more rotation with White Fox, but no big deal. No big deal. I mean, stage 80 with no Urus. Wow. It really blows me away how strong Valkyrie is. I actually attempted stage 90, but with this build that I have, very difficult. But honestly, guys, I mean, 180 proc, the way she's built, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. I cannot wait to see how well she's going to do against Null. Now, her all defense down won't apply to him, but I actually think she's going to do really, really well. Her damage is crazy. Although it's difficult to gauge because we are getting so much all defense down right now. Oh, we're about to end this. We're about to end it. And boom. Under 3 minutes, stage 80. With no Urus, normal ranked uniform, 180 proc, and just a regular stage 6 overdrive set. That is crazy. So all of you out there that are thinking about getting her uniform, I would recommend queuing it up. I think this thing is amazing. It's an insane upgrade for the character, and I think she's going to be terrific against Null as well. So for your world boss, she's going to be bonk. Oh, she's going to be great against Proxima. She's going to be great against Quicksilver. She's going to be great against Corvus. She's just going to be a great character overall because her power is just nuts. So let me know how y'all feeling about Valkyrie, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.